And so now it's starting to get to a level where there's so many people reaching out to me, and there's so many people who are wanting to connect, because as I said, there's people with a lot more followers, but I think there's definitely something about my brand, my lifestyle, everything that people want a part of. And I'm saying very successful people as well. And there's a lot of people that I'm now connecting with that in the past, it would have been a dream, but I just don't care anymore. You know what I mean? And I think that a big part of it is, as time has gone on, I've realized that like a lot of the people who are super successful and are put up as like these, figures of success, they're just all fucking little bitches, right? They're just all, they're weak, spineless, nothing to them, right? So like at the end of the day, take someone like, I don't want to say Ryan Holiday specifically, but like take someone in that world, right? At the end of the day, they still have a fucking boss, and that boss is their publisher, right? So I know whatever they're saying I can never fully trust what they say. Take someone, for example, like Jordan Peterson. He had an issue with Patreon, so he shut down, like I forget specifically what it was, but he had an issue with, I think they were censoring what you could say or something like that. So he had an issue with Patreon. He was making, I forget what the number was. It was 50,000 a month, 100,000 a month, something like that from his Patreon. He went and live deleted his Patreon account. And I was like, that is a fucking man of honor. That is a man that I trust. What he says, he fucking means. And to me, that means, the further and further I get along in life, the more weight that carries with me. So, guys like, and by the way, nothing against Ryan Holiday specifically, I don't know the guy. I'm just saying a lot of that world I can never fully trust, because I'm like, you have a boss, and then you still have someone who tells you what to do, right? Or you still have to kiss the ring. There's a ring that you have to kiss, right? Whereas I like people where they can really just do whatever the fuck they want, right?
Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate, Joe Rogan.
Yeah. And that's, heavy lays the crown, man, because that's very hard to do for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, look, they try to get all of them. They try to get all of them, and they'll try to get you for, they'll just start making shit up about all these people. They'll start making shit up about, if they want to, they'll decide that you're a pedophile, right? And they'll find one specific photo someplace. And by the way, obviously, these are very famous people, so they have photos, them interacting with, fans, children, and they'll spin the fucking craziest shit. They'll do the craziest fucking things, right? And yeah, and eventually they'll try to find a way to come for you.
They might even ruin your career, and after a year say, "Oh, it wasn't true after all," but you've been ruined already.
Exactly. Yeah, and at that point, look, they tried to do it with Tony Robbins.
Did it really?
Because he came out basically saying the cough was a whole fucking scam. He came out and said, look, here's the statistics, all this stuff. And after that, he had all these allegations of sexual assault. After decades of clean record, no woman ever coming out, no one saying anything ever.
Working with Nelson Mandela.
Look, after all of that, all of those decades, he comes out and says, yeah, no, like, he was very, I remember I first saw February of 2021, I remember I was in Cape Town. And he basically came out and said, look, here's the statistics, here's blah, blah, all this stuff. There's no reason to lock us in our houses. This is not about your safety anymore. And lo and behold, 2 months later, sexual assault allegations, all this stuff, women coming out, all this fucking bullshit. And, he lost his publishing deal for his book and all this stuff. And, you see, once again, that's another man I really respect. Hundreds of millions, big audience, but he'll still, if he believes in something. And look, once again, all these people, I don't know the ins and outs. Maybe they're still puppets. I don't know. But I just look at the actions that I can see. And when I have that in mind, there's not too many people left. So that's the scary thing. So that's the really scary thing, is as you start to think about all this stuff, you're like, fuck, who's actually left that I would, look, all these people that I mentioned, even fucking Logan Paul, I could go out, I could hang out with him, I could go on a trip with him, and we'd still have a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, I can never fully trust him, right? In the same way, so yeah. With that being, with all that said, it's when you think about it, you're like, who will be in my corner? Who could I actually make someone really be a part of my team? And when all said and done, there's not many people left in the world.